that as opposed to the other Chumashim in Torah, which are chronological continuum of their previous Sefer, the first 9 chapters of Sefer Bamidbar actually overlap chronologically with events and laws of Sefer Vayikra. For example, in this week's Parsha, Parashat Nasso, we're going to hear of the 3rd rendition of Chanukat HaMishkan that took place on Rosh Chodesh Nisan of the 2nd year of Am Yisrael leaving Mitzrayim. But before we hear about this, the Torah first takes us actually forward a month, where we hear about the setup of the Machaneh in Parshat Bamidbar and the continuation of the encampments of the Leviim around the Mishkan at the beginning of Parshat Nasso. The Torah then continues to tell us laws that actually remind us of laws that we've heard about in Sefer Vayikra. For example, the Mitzorah, the Zav, the Tamei Lamet, whom we heard about in Sefer Vayikra, are not allowed to come to the Mishkan. In Sefer Bamidbar, we hear that they also must be sent out of the Machaneh. The Torah is teaching us that holiness, that Kedusha that was established through the Mishkan in Sefer Vayikra is not limited to the confines of the tabernacle, but actually must be expanded to the Machaneh, to the entire encampment of Am Yisrael. And that's why the very next law teaches us that the Kohen, whom we heard about in Sefer Vayikra, in his pristine ivory tower of the Mishkan, is actually going to engage with people in the Machaneh, whether it's with the thief who steals objects and cannot return them to a ger, and therefore the stolen object will go to a Kohen, or the Kohen who's going to engage with the suspected promiscuous woman of the Isha Sotah, the woman who he wasn't supposed to have anything to deal with in Sefer Vayikra, not to marry a Zonah, a Chalala. In Sefer Bamidbar, he's the one who will provide a mechanism through which she may return to her husband in the Machaneh. And perhaps the greatest expression of this, the Nazir who, as the Ramban points out, is like a Kohen in the Machaneh. He is a pseudo-priest. The very same laws that apply to a Kohen in Sefer Vayikra, not to enter the Mishkan in an intoxicated state, not to defile himself to a dead body, apply to a Nazir as well, but constantly in the Machaneh. The same tzitz, Kodesh LaHashem, that is called a nezer, a crown in Sefer Vayikra, worn by the Kohen Gadol, is the term that's used to describe the hair on the Nazir's head. The Torah is teaching us that in fact you can be a Kohen in the Machaneh, albeit for a limited time, but the Kedusha is going to expand there as well. And therefore we understand why Birchat Kohanim, that we would expect to find in Sefer Vayikra, is actually here in Parshat Nasso. Yivarechacha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Hashem panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisah Hashem panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. These are brachot of peace and prosperity, brachot that pertain to the Machaneh, to the entire nation of Am Yisrael, beyond the Mishkan. And that's why we hear of a 3rd account of what happened on that magnificent day of the inauguration of the Mishkan. The end of Sefer Shmot teaches us about Moshe inaugurating the Mishkan for Hashem. Sefer Vayikra teaches us about the Kohanim, who inaugurate the Mizbeach for the purposes of the Karbanot that they're going to instruct Am Yisrael to bring. But Sefer Bamidbar, Parshat Nasso, teaches us of the Nisiim, the representatives of the tribes, who brought their Karbanot to the Mizbeach, representing that in fact there is Kedusha in the Machaneh, and therefore we, every member of Am Yisrael, is going to engage with the Mishkan and with that Kedusha within our everyday lives. This is a perfect parsha at the end of an academic year, when especially students have been learning in Eretz Yisrael, in a Beit Midrash, to then leave that Mishkan, leave that sanctuary. It's true that there really is special Kedusha here in Eretz Yisrael, but the Torah is teaching us that Kedusha is not limited to one confined to one location. Rather, Bamidbar and Parshat Nasso in particular teach us that Kedusha is really meant to be found in the Machaneh. We are meant to go out and take the Kedusha of the Beit Midrash of Eretz Yisrael and make sure that it is holiness that we can interact with in our everyday lives. Shabbat Shalom.